if you've been out to Abbotsford, you watch the games, you've probably seen this guy have a 3-point night because he's been ripping it up this year. Christian Wolanin now joining us here from the Abbotsford Canucks, defenseman for the Abbotsford Canucks, AHL All-Star. Christian, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I have to say, in introducing guests, that might have been my most seamless one that I've done up to this point. So props to myself on that one. Christian, it's been an exciting time for the Abbotsford Canucks. I think a lot of people that are fans of this whole organization are really starting to take notice with the type of hockey that you guys are playing out there, what's going on with the new coach, Jeremy Colleton, and, looking at point totals, you're one of the players that they're kind of excited about as well. Just in general, you come here to a new organization. How has this gone in your eyes so far up to this point in the season?
It's been fun. It's been fun from an individual standpoint just to play hockey again. It's been a couple years since I've kind of established or earned a little bit of trust from the staff, and just to play meaningful minutes and play meaningful hockey. It's been a lot of fun individually, and then as a team, I think all the players enjoy playing for JC and his staff. And anytime you're winning hockey games and playing good hockey, it's good vibes in the locker room. So it's been a lot of fun to this point, and I think the cool thing is that we feel we're just getting started, and we're all hungrier for even more success.
So everybody can see the points, but what's one thing about your game that you think you've improved on that people maybe haven't seen?
I'm just playing. Honestly, I think if I earn the right to play meaningful minutes, as I always say, and earn the right to be put out there in situations, I think that I'm gonna give the team a chance to win. So I don't really think I've changed a lot other than being given the opportunity. And when I'm given the opportunity, obviously the confidence grows a little bit with each rep, and obviously playing with great players, as I've been fortunate enough to do so far this year, helps a lot too with putting up a couple points on the board.
You mentioned your coach, Jeremy Colleton, out there, obviously, to be in the situation that you're in right now of playing power play, playing, top pairing minutes, penalty kill, everything. Got to be a lot of trust there from Jeremy, who's, jumping back into a situation to be a head coach here in the AHL. It's a big spot just down the road from the big club as well. So I'm sure that there's, probably some pressure in his eyes on what he can do with this team. What are you liking about Jeremy right now on this team? Because it feels like I've followed this Abbotsford and Utica team for the past few years. Something about your guys' support just in the defensive zone and moving the puck up, helping in the corners, but also seeing just defensemen be in the right position. I feel like there's a good structure that's being given out by Colleton that you guys are following. And I see periods where you guys are, allowing 3-4 shots on net. And I'm just thinking you guys must be happy with how the defensive play is working out there in Abbotsford.
Yeah, it's a credit to JC, obviously, for his structure and how prepared he has us for each game. But more than anything, I think from a defensive standpoint, how hard our forwards work. And again, that's taught to them by JC, by Alms, by Ags. But it's their work ethic and their tracking back, and they're stopping in the right spots, and they're 5 back. It's the little details that we've really been able to kind of dial in on, and I think that's why we've had a little bit of success as of late. I think at the beginning of the year, just like any time, a new coach, new group of guys, it's going to take you a little bit to get things going. But as I said in the beginning of the year, we were playing good hockey. We just weren't coming away with the right results. And the more we've been able to dial in the small details and play as a group, play defensive first, and the offense has just been coming lately. In turn, the wins have been coming. So again, credit to JC and his staff for just having us prepared. There's never a doubt in our mind what our job is. And even on a night like last night, we had a terrible first period. Credit to Calgary, they came out and played really hard. But JC came in. He's not a yeller. He's not a screamer, which is good for this day and age. I don't think anybody really responds to that well anymore. But he came in. He gave us a stern talking to. So that's not good enough. And we were prepared before the game, and all he had to do was give us a reminder. And we came out and played the second and third period to our level.
What was your reaction to going to the AHL All-Star game? You're going to be going.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think I've said it a few times since kind of being told that I'm going to go. It's a weird thing because it's an individual award and a team sport. So really, I'm just representing the Abbotsford Canucks. I know my name might be on it, but it's a team award. As I said, I've been fortunate enough to play with some really good power play units this year. My 5-on-5 points, it's kind of been up and down the lineup. It's not just one line that I'm getting them with. It's been first line to fourth line. So again, all credit goes to my teammates and the staff for kind of putting me in the positions I've been in. And I have a lot of assists, so obviously somebody's putting them in the net. So credit to the guys around me.
Are you able to get any tips for, I believe Laval is where the All-Star game is. Is Guillaume helping you out, or Vinny? I know Vinny's probably got a lobster fishing spot for you out there to go check out or something.
Yeah. No, they said if you need a +1, they'll come with me. So maybe I'll bring them both with me. But at the same time, I think we're in San Jose to end our road trip next week, and I go right to Laval on a red eye. So I'll assume that they're going to want the rest, and I'll give them their rest, and I'll meet up with the boys after the trip.
Sounds good. That's going to be a tough ask for you to go play some 3-on-3 after that trip, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
But a lot of players on this team, I think Canucks fans are pretty excited about to see some of these young guys stepping in and really having a big year. I mean, the Swedish House Mafia line we've heard about from Vasily Podkolzin about the nickname there. A lot of young guys like Danila Klimovich. But I want to ask you about the goaltender who just set the record for the most. And I know it's 2 years. It's not a crazy record to break. But for Archer Silovs to do what he's doing at 21 years old, as a defenseman, to know that he's the guy behind you and what he's doing at such a young age, what can you say about what he's been able to do this season?
Yeah, he's been playing great hockey. I think he's been getting better every day. Whether it be playing the puck, helping us defensemen out a little bit, his confidence in talking to us. And I'm not going to pretend like I know what it takes for a goalie to make it, but I know it's probably the hardest position in hockey to make it in and be a good one. So really, as I said, if we're playing good hockey and we're doing the right things defensively, hopefully we'll only be dependent upon him for 1 or 2 big saves a night, and he's been making those as of late. So again, I'm not a goalie expert. I don't pretend to be a goalie expert, but when they're making big saves and keeping us in games, whether we're playing good or not, you notice it, and we've noticed him a lot this year so far. And I think this experience playing on a winning team would be good for him.
Well, I'm very anti-goalie, so I think if you're thick enough and you can lift that glove up and down, you'll be all right. But I know Quads as a goalie doesn't love that talk. But another player I want to ask about, it's an interesting spot. We've loved to kind of, fans have loved the nickname of that Swedish House Mafia line, but there's been games where that trio comes together, and I feel like the puck, like as a defenseman, you're probably excited because you're like, hey, I'm not defending, we're just hanging out in the offensive zone. How cool is it when that trio kind of gets going for you guys?
Yeah, they just are so good down low. They're so good at possessing the puck, protecting the puck, using each other. Obviously, to compare them to the Sedin twins is a stretch. Being those are 2 Hall of Famers and 2 of the best to ever play. But I think just being around them and watching them all the time and having the open line of communication with them is a plus. And the way they play, having Nils down, Hoggy down, and kind of picking Carl back up and getting Carl going a little bit. It's been really great for our team, and as you said, it's a lot of fun when they're out there on the ice, because you just stand on the blue line and cycle it back low for them, let them go back to work, and just get open for the next opportunity. So we have a ton of good players, a lot of good line combinations from first line to fourth line, and unfortunately even the guys who haven't been playing so much. So we have a lot of talent, a lot of hardworking guys, and it's been a lot of fun to play with this group of guys so far. And the Swedish House Mafia is just a little cherry on top with being able to put that line together.
We've heard a lot about the Sedins being out there in Abbotsford this season. What can you tell us about, just getting to be around those guys and the work they've been doing out there?
I mean, I just love hockey, right? So whether it be hockey history, hockey legends, anything of that nature. So to have 2 guys like that are willingly taking their time to be on the ice for us, and that goes for all the development guys, all 25 of them, however many we have out there. It's a credit to them for just being human. Like they're the coolest guys to just be around. There's no ego. There's no talking down. They'll compliment you. They'll give you advice. And again, coming from 2 Hall of Famers and 2 of the best to ever put on a Vancouver jersey, it's really cool to have them out there. We're actually talking about it at lunch. Like, I'm like, are they like, what do you guys talk about in Swedish? I was sitting with Swedish House Mafia at lunch. I'm like, are they different in Swedish, or are they equally as nice just in all languages? Because again, I can't really say enough good things about how just welcoming and inviting and nice they are, and it's really cool that they take their own time to spend time with us and contribute to the organization in more ways than they did than just all their games and all their points and all their accolades.
One of the names that we've heard about a lot from that development team as well is Mackenzie Braid, the skating coach. And I think a lot of people know what Mackenzie's mom does with some of the best hockey players in the world. But we've also heard a lot of praise towards what Mackenzie Braid does with you guys as a skating coach. What can you speak about that part of the development group there with what he can kind of bring to this group?
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of individual time with him,
Mhm.
and I'm jealous of that because I think that means my days as a prospect are probably numbered. Or maybe my skating's just good enough. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with
I'll
that.
Go with that one.
yeah, I'll decide how I want to take that one later. But I've just been talking to the young guys because I do like that skating stuff. I think it's great. I think anytime you can, whether it's going to affect you right away or just make you more confidence in the way you skate or your edges or your abilities, I think it's great. And in talking to the guys that use him, the younger guys that are out there with him a lot, it's a great resource for us to have. And I heard the way that he teaches is great. So just the American League, it's supposed to be a development league. Sometimes it doesn't really feel like that. But having guys like him and the Sedins around and all the development staff that they put around us is exactly what the league's supposed to be used for, in my opinion.
Yeah. Christian, you've brought up a few times in the conversations that I've had with you, whether it be post game or even down here in Vancouver and you're here for that practice. And now here you've mentioned it as well. Like you're just a hockey guy. So I got to ask, like with yourself, like your dad played in the NHL. I'm sure you've been around the game a long time. It feels like you eat, breathe, and sleep hockey. What are some of like the things you've collected throughout the years from hockey that like, do you have anything cool that you want to tell us? Like, what is something cool that you've had like in your life of hockey? I feel like you've been around it for so long. Do you collect anything? Like, do you keep anything, any keepsakes from the game of hockey?
I think the coolest stuff I have would be like some of my dad's old Quebec Nordique jackets and some of his Stanley Cup memorabilia. I just as a kid, I'm wearing his Stanley Cup champs snapback that he was wearing in the locker room when they're celebrating with beer and champagne. I'm wearing that to middle school. Probably
Yeah.
didn't realize how cool it was at the time, but looking back on it, that stuff's pretty special. And my dad keeps his Stanley Cup ring in a Ziploc bag in the spice drawer at home. So hopefully they'll probably have to rehide that. But the point is, he doesn't really. It's in the past for him,
Yeah.
which has kind of been a lesson to me about being humble. So I don't keep a whole lot. I think the only thing I've ever had signed is I have one signed stick from Eric Carlson, who was my first D partner when I entered the NHL. So that was my first and probably only thing that I've ever had signed by a teammate, which I think would be pretty cool. And then for me individually, I guess my national championship ring, and hopefully add another ring to the collection at some point. But other than that, yeah, just cool team gear, little things like that, but nothing too crazy.
So we've had a lot of conversations with guys from the Abbotsford Canucks last season on this show, this season on this show. I haven't really had a chance to ask. Has anyone challenged Vinny Arsenault for the most talkative guy this season? Because you weren't here last year, but everyone just said like this guy would not stop talking, not stop talking. It was a story after story. I did an article for the AHL last year where I talked about fishing, and I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, talk to Vinny. And it was like 45 minutes later, I knew everything it felt like there was to know about lobster fishing, dive fishing, everything about fishing in Quebec. Has anyone challenged Vinny for the motor mouth net yet in the locker room?
I haven't paid too close to who's leading that leaderboard, but he's definitely a source of entertainment for us in the locker room, and I think we just have a great group of guys. Like I said, winning helps any locker room, but I think we have a great deal of respect for everyone in that locker room, and everyone's got a voice, and obviously having a 22, I think Chase is 22, 21 maybe, a young captain. It helps for just the camaraderie of the locker room, and we're all kind of built up behind Chase. And as I said, everybody has their own voice, everybody has their own personality, and I think that allows guys to just feel comfortable at the rink and in turn play their best version of hockey. So it's been truly a great year to this point, and the vibes are high, and hopefully they'll continue to get higher.
So we'd love to hear. And for people that haven't been out to an Abbotsford game yet, you guys just played against the Wranglers last night. It's going to be 3-4 for you guys against them. What are you expecting this weekend, man? If people haven't been to an Abbotsford game, why should they come out this weekend to see what you guys are doing out there?
Well, I think it's a fun weekend because Calgary's a team that I think we'll see again. Assuming both teams go far in playoffs, they're a great hockey team. They're well coached, and I think the same thing about us. I think that we have great structure. I think that our forward group, when they're playing the way that they're playing, is a really tough group to play against. As I said, first line to fourth line, we have guys that are going to get in on the forecheck, possess the puck. Our D-men, when we're playing our best version of ourselves, we're moving the puck them right away, keeping it simple. And when you do those small little things and those small details continue to add up, then the big plays come. Then the seams open up. You have the Podsy goal like yesterday. We're just playing hockey, doing the right things, and all of a sudden Podsy opens up some space for himself. The Bainesy tire, like that line goes to work for 30, 40 seconds down low, and again, a seam opens up because of their hard work, and we're able to tie the game up. And I think when we play the right way, we're a really good team. And to give credit to JC again and his staff for putting us in a situation where we're prepared, and a credit to our forwards. Like I say it to them all the time, when our forwards are playing like they play, I truly believe that we can beat anybody in this league. And it's pro hockey. It's hard to do it on a night-to-night basis, but more times than not, we've been doing it this year, and it's just been a lot of fun to play with them. So,
absolutely. We'll close out with this. There's been a couple of hidden gems that I've found pregame before I'm coming out there to cover you guys. Brodeurs has been one of them. Lou's has been another one. Give me a restaurant that you found, Christian, that you've liked out there.
in Abbey?
Yeah, Abbey, around here, BC, anywhere. What have you found that you've liked? Hidden gem if you got it.
I think Vancouver specifically, I'll go Miku, the sushi spot right there on the water by the Pacific Rim Hotel.
Yeah,
I know that's a higher end meal. I'm not going there on a weekly basis, but on special occasions, that's definitely if I'm down in Van, that's my spot. I've been there a couple times this year. It's been phenomenal. Down in Abbey, I've been trying to cook a lot this year, trying to grow up a little bit in a few areas of life. So I've been cooking a lot of dinners at home. I went to a little breakfast spot, Anne Marie's Cafe. You guys ever heard of that?
Haven't heard of that one, no.
I think it's Anne Marie's Cafe or Anne Marie's Diner, something like that. Small little diner, small vibes, like probably 20 seats in there. I went and sat down, had a little me time the other day. That was a nice little experience. So that's probably the only answer I could give you guys. Maybe I'll start do some exploring, and I'll get back to you so I can give you a better answer. But that's all I got for you right now.
I think it's something like 50 different sides down at Brodeurs, and they're famous for like the deli sandwiches. Brodeurs a good one. Lou's for wings. Couple of good ones there for you anyways, Christian. But we appreciate you learning.
I'll have to get on that wing spot.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you joining us here. Great chat here with you, Christian. Wishing you all the luck at the All-Star game, rest of the season, this weekend, everything, man. This has been great, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. There he is, Christian Wolanin.
AHL All-Star, Christian Wolanin joining us, courtesy of our friends over at Zephyr Epic.